Okay, quick disclaimer before we get started. The Blockmates podcast is for entertainment and informational purposes only and does not constitute financial advice. The information and opinions expressed on the podcast are those of the host and guests and do not necessarily reflect the views of Blockmates or its affiliates. Listeners are encouraged to do their own research and consult with a financial advisor before making any investment decisions. Blockmates and its affiliates are not liable for any losses or damages incurred as a result of the reliance on the information or opinions expressed on this podcast.
Well. We have the band back together. Mike's back. Morning, man.
Morning,
Grant. How are we?
Mike's back and the market's fucking tanked.
I know I went away.
I told you to stay away.
Inverse, mate. Absolute inverse for me.
I didn't even think of that, actually. But yeah, we had Mike's tweet. As for anyone who listens now religiously, I say religiously, we've done like 4 episodes. So if anyone who listens to us, we did say last week that as per Mike was on his sunbed and we had the pump, and then this morning we've woken up to a bloodbath, and it can only be because Mike's back on Good Morning Degen.
Yeah, just count and trade me, it'll be fine.
Just counter trade your holidays.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you want to get them in your diary, I'll just tell them now.
When we put the paywall up, we'll like also have Mike's holiday calendar behind the paywall.
That's it.
Yeah, the best how to leverage trade with Mike.
Put him on a plane.
Sign into his Emirates account. When's he going to? And then, but yeah, I'm gonna. I've woken up sounding a little bit like Sean Dyche this morning because I was at a gig last night. So I'm gonna try and do as little talking as possible on this one, but we're still gonna get through it because we're ultra professionals.
Yeah.
Awesome. I think so.
I was thinking last night we should like rephrase our tagline as something like the least professional.
Yeah,
media
quite
company
like
or the least serious.
Yeah.
Because we're absolutely pathetic, really, aren't we?
Yeah, we are. Me in particular, I've not done a great job of showing myself in these first few ones as we kick this off, but people still seem to be enjoying it.
What, you haven't outperformed on one?
I think we've done 6 and I've been hungover for 4.
People in the comments are getting worried about Al's drinking habits.
Oh yeah, Jesus Christ.
I moved last year in a strop because I was so bored of doing nothing in the Northeast, and now I'm whinging. Jerry told me I'm a whinger the other day because I'm just constantly crying about how many social plans I've got to attend.
Such a tough life.
Such a tough life. But yeah, sorry to boys for the first 2 to 3 minutes of this thing. So we'll get into the prices and flows straight away. And as I said, we have woken up to a bloodbath. I'm just going to give this to you two to talk everyone through because it's...
You're seeing six different prices in front of you.
Yeah, to be fair, you'll do a way better job of talking everyone through this than me this morning. So, wow, right. Bitcoin down to 25,600, but then, yeah, take it from there.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, 25,600, Bitcoin down 7 and a bit %, ETH down to 1807, down 3.1. ETH has been outperforming Bitcoin of late, which is kind of what you'd expect following Shanghai, and everyone's kind of seen the state of play, and staking participation's up like 3% as well, which is interesting. Total market cap 1.14 trillion. Binance outflows, which is funny because some people would wonder why we'd cover Binance outflows, and these are the kind of reasons. The largest exchange, largest global exchange where funds are kind of onboarded and offboarded, minus 750 million. I'd expect that to increase, which is the biggest we've seen. Then the fear and greed index, which is kind of a good indicator, even though it's down 70% to 44. But it's shifted ever since we've been doing this. It's been in the neutral camp around 50, 51. So fear is in the streets, which is usually a good time to buy, in my opinion, in my experience.
Yeah.
I like that. I like those pointers. So even though we've just give you the pits,
Yeah, don't jump out your don't crash your car into the central reservation if you listen to this on the way to work. It's okay.
When you get to work, it's a good time to buy, not financial advice. We have the disclaimer on this.
Yeah.
Make sure we have the disclaimer. Oh God, moving swiftly on into biggest winners. So DYDX saw a pump off the Binance news.
It typically always does. It's sort of like there's some negative sentiment algorithm programmed to buy DYDX whenever anything bad happens to Binance. There was like a really strong. I can't remember what the FUD was around 2 years ago, 18 months ago, but DYDX completely ripped off the back of it. It was always negative sentiment around centralized exchanges, and naturally people just go to DYDX. But it hasn't sustained. It's always just right, this has happened, so what do? We punt into this. So
yeah,
I don't know. There is some stuff. I don't think it's the right time to discuss it now, but there are some kind of interesting developments with DYDX coming up. But that was definitely not the reason it was bumping yesterday. We'll probably get into it next week or something.
Yeah. Got any thoughts, Mike, or do you want me to keep blasting?
No, like you say, it's I guess the FUD was. I think it was on KYC and stuff like that, wasn't it? A couple of years ago, but it just seems to get a bid for whatever reason. But no, nothing much really. Seen some interesting tweets regarding just before the news was announced. There was a lot of twapping into shorts. I think it was a massive. It was something like 20 million in terms of shorts. So they either had the news before or it was Binance up their old tricks. But I don't think we'll go too much into that.
Binance hedging their own, Binance hedging their own suing on another exchange would be quite impressive. Right, we're about to get sued. It's about to be announced. Because what will happen is that'll come down the pipeline. Someone at the block or something will have notifications on for any crypto related lawsuits that come through, so they can be first on it. But they'll probably reach out to Binance immediately and say, "Can I have a request for comment?" That's
exactly how it works.
So if we're going to lose some money, we might as well make some money.
Load the shorts. Load the shorts. We're going to hell.
CZ running around the office. Right. It's time.
Load up the shorts, boys.
Oh, God.
God. Should we be laughing? I mean, my excuses are probably still a little bit funny from last night, but
if you don't laugh, you'll cry.
Yeah, I do. I like that. We're used to riding the wave by now, aren't we? Marinade. Yeah, go on.
So this is another one of those mantra players that mantra always pops up with that nobody else sees on the full planet, and he sees it 3 weeks before it happens, and he's like, "This is gonna pump," and I'm like, "You're mental. You need help," and then it just does it every single time, and it's off the back of because liquid staking tokens and liquid staking derivatives have been going absolutely ballistic on Ethereum, and there's a lot of kind of news and hype around that. But then it's people are looking at other ecosystems where it could actually be a play as well. And Marinade's one of the biggest liquid staking providers, on top of Lido as well. But Marinade is a huge liquid staking provider on Solana. So there's hardly any liquidity for it though, so it's extremely pumpable. If Mantra's trying to pump his own bags, he always fills it and then tells me.
He'll never admit to it though, Mantra, will he? He's just so, oh, well, I don't know, maybe I have alpha. I just tell people shit. What did he say to you and me the other day, Mike? He's like, I hope Wacko and Grant haven't talked me up too much. But
but he's always on the ball.
They did for a good reason. Always on the ball.
Obscure play. It's just insane, to be honest.
Sin.
Yeah, so this is kind of the worst kept secret of all time that signups are going to have their own L1 or L2 where it can then connect into multiple different chains. But what's interesting is it's held up pretty well over the past 24 hours. And I think it looks like there's kind of a lot of big wallets that we've been tracking that seem to have started to buy it and accumulate in it. And if it gets repriced as an L1 or an L2, it's currently at 136 million market cap. If it does get repriced as an L1 or L2, then there should be some potential big moves on the cards. That being said, some of these wallets that I track really like to sell stuff. So I'm read between the lines who kind of talking about there, but it kind of feels like, as I say, it's a worst kept secret, so there's definitely no alpha to be had there, but it actually draws in a lot of attention because it's going to come online as its own interconnected chain that can tap into L1s and L2s, and as the kind of app chain thesis develops, and it could be in a very, very good place. But I don't really like the counterparty on the trade, if I'm honest. It seems like a lot of big holdings ready to just sell that whenever they feel like it.
This one I actually really like. Barcelona.
I don't. I fucking called it out and then missed it. Like fucking idiot. I literally told everyone what to do and then just sat there and flicked the chart open, and it did exactly what I knew it was going to do.
But there is this running theme, isn't there, of like football that seems to run throughout this. And we did talk about the PSG play like 2 weeks ago, and it's just hilarious the way this works. And we also talked about the Arsenal fan talking.
Well, when everyone runs out of anything else to bid on, this is what usually happens as well. There's always like, right, we've run out of players here. Let's go back to fan tokens for 3 days and make a bid out of them. And obviously, like with the news with Messi and stuff, that exactly happened.
At least we can argue that it's never not interesting.
What's he called? Fabrizio
Romano.
Yeah,
it's like the biggest football journal breaking news hack kind of. So when he tweets, it's like it's big.
I might create like Fabrizio Romano.
He knew
crypto alt account where I just pump fan tokens.
That's also a very shit pizza shop in Borough.
Yeah, Mike, it's not a shit pizza shop, mate. You should know better than saying that.
You're gonna be spitting it next time you go there.
You grew up in TS5, mate. You shouldn't be shitting on Romanos.
Oh no, yeah. Don't let the lads hear that. Jesus.
Did give me. I have had salmonella off a Parmo from there, like so. Not going to get into what a Parmo is for people listening. We'll talk about that at some point.
If anyone can tell me what a Parmo is in the comments, or if they've had one, I'll send you some Barcelona fan tokens.
I like that, actually. That proves to people that are listening. If anyone tweets us back with the definition of a chicken parmesan.
No, I want to see original sourced photography they've got while they've been on there. No one's Wikipedia in it. I want to see where they've took a photo of that monstrosity of a cuisine.
I want to see a 3 a.m. phone shot. That's what I want.
Looks like it's been taken on a potato.
Yeah. If it doesn't look like a dog's been at it as well, then it doesn't pass.
So we're getting on to
are we supposed to be giving people alpha here, by the way?
Yeah.
Moving on. As Mike said, biggest losers. I mean, need I say much here? I think we're all very aware, aren't we? Mike, I want you to take this one.
I don't. Yeah, well, what I've got here is, as we all know, we've got Gary Gensler, who's the biggest Karen going, along with the SEC, trying to just sort of make it's like sort of like a staple play, isn't it, to make an example out of Binance, I guess. And I guess this has been like rolling around for ages in terms of circulating FUD. I know there was stuff about potentially commingled funds between customer funds and then obviously Binance itself as an entity. And we all remember obviously FTX and the shudders that still brings across tables around the world. So yeah, they've released I think it's about 130 pages of just like stuff that potentially Binance have done. But they've obviously named that they've breached security laws, Binance US that is, in terms of several assets that they've listed on there. So you've got Sol on there, named ADA, Matic, Filecoin, Atom, Sand, Mana.
Is Algo on there?
Algo's on there, Corti.
Yeah. That's interesting because Gary Gensler's like delivered a load of fucking lectures at MIT, effectively shilling Algo And Algor is extremely well connected to the banking industry, and it's also well connected to kind of university professors that have kind of helped develop it. So he's acts like he can't answer a simple question of is Ethereum a security, but he can deliver like a series of lectures at MIT, like in intricate detail about how these things work. He's a fucking idiot.
Well, this is why, like, even like, obviously everyone's come out yesterday and said that ETH hasn't been named in it, but Sol has. But obviously Sol's like has a basis of, well, not fundamentally, but there's a basis there to if Sol's a security because of the way they burn Sol, then ETH has that same mechanism. So if you put two and two together, is that bad? Is it good? Well, it looks more to be. Is that coming down the road? But we will see. But I just don't think they have any idea what they're naming as a security themselves, even though there's one simple definition. But it's just, again, it's this stifling of innovation, and you're just pushing everyone out. He's just absolutely killing it. How he hasn't been fired, what he's got against people, I don't know, because how he hasn't been just dumped by the wayside for all the stuff he's done over the past year, I just don't know. Obviously, as well, they've said about BNB and BUSD for their earn program is breach of security law. But again, it's just this attack on the industry, isn't it, as a whole? It's just like no one's safe sort of thing.
Tiring.
And obviously, CZ's responded with those infamous 4, and they have said that they will fight the SEC. So we'll see. It may be come to a point where is it just one of them where it's just another
slap on the wrist and a fine.
Exactly.
You just got to pay your protection money. That's basically it.
That's literally it. Yeah.
Let's just make some more money. It's just $3
for them. Great business.
Moment. Yeah.
Fucking quality business. We should do the SEC, but on the blockchain.
Decentralized.
Decentralized SEC. I'm raising at 10 billion.
God, you just don't want him any more near crypto. Never mind, like running an entity that's decentralized or setting one up.
Do you think Gensler is the least intimidating looking mobster you've ever seen in your life?
Yeah. He looks like a fucking strong-winded fucking dooming off.
Well, looking at them videos, what did he do? So one day he bash his head and then realise that he was just going to go to war instead. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, it's like that Shane Gillis skit where he talks about like how Biden's the only president ever that you could like punch kill. I think you could do the same. I think you could do the same with Gensler, like a strong punch to the chest. Do him. I'm going to regret this one this morning. News flash in the pan before we wrap this up. Obviously, it's mostly dominated by the Binance news. We did make a note that gaming tokens were doing all right. Mike, did you want to touch on that one briefly, or is it literally?
No, I think that was sort of like superseded by everything else. I think the only thing from the news was like the fact that the SEC tweeted that statement about I think it was the CCO, and he what did he say? Let me just bring it up.
We are operating as
license. What did it say? I don't know.
We are operating as a fucking unlicensed securities exchange in the US, bro.
But the fact that they've actually tweeted that on the SEC account is just like
hilarious.
Insane.
And it's the fact that like it's completely unedited grammar wise, and he spelt fucking just FKING. Like
that can't be real.
Bro, on the end, it cannot.
It's cited, isn't it? It's cited in the document. But I think some of the research I was reading, some of the research that's in that actual document's not even right. So it's more like just throwing shit at the wall and seeing if it sticks. I think, but we will see. There's not much apart from that. Everything again, news was sort of just superseded by Binance. That's what was everywhere. And then Apple released it, and it's not crypto related. Well, I suppose it's
Apple
not
at all-time highs while we're sat licking our wounds at 25k.
So is Amazon. I think, isn't it? There's a few going there.
Jeff Bezos has roided it out of his tits, man. Look at him. Of course, it should be at all-time high.
And we're back in the gulags, licking our wounds, waiting for something good to happen. But
I'm staring at this SEC tweet. I cannot believe what I'm seeing with this screenshot. It just,
as always, good comms.
mate. Yeah, I could talk about this all day. It's just wild. It's the fact that they've put it in like a really pretty looking graphic as well. Like they've got the graphic designer to sit there and go, make this look cool. This is a quote that needs to land.
Well, if you look down and if you look down in the first comment, and we probably can't say it on here, but it's quite funny, to be honest.
Yeah, we definitely can't say that on here. just go on the tweet and read it for yourself. And on that note, we'll call it there at 20 minutes. Cheers, fellas.
Cheers.
Newsletter.
Subscribe to the newsletter.
Yeah.
Bye, everyone.